My name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I am a husband of a scientist. Don't know why I'm using my AirPods for this because it's not really needed. Been live in a while, so I figured I can go do a quick live this evening and see one if anyone shows up, and two, just to answer a few questions about aviation while we're getting started. I'm a 17-year airline pilot. I've been flying for the current airline now for 7 years. Spent 10 years at a regional. I have flown 6 different types of jets. I have 6 different type ratings, everything from the Embraer 145 to the Cedar 700 to the Embraer 175 to the MD-80 to the Airbus 320 series and currently the Boeing 777. I make videos about once a week about aviation. My next video comes out on Thursday. Good evening, Brian, Alex, and Cario. Hey, Mike. I'm glad you got there live as well. And you can probably tell, one, I haven't shaved in a while, and two, if you look at your clocks, it's not 7:31 in Dallas. Hey, Carlos, Mr. Serbia. Hope you're getting your hours in and your ratings up. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you, or CRD Explorer. So I finished flying for the month of June. Although it is July now, it still is the month of June as far as my bid schedule goes. Evening, Tavis and Troy. I am answering questions. Fire away. Evening, Carol. It is a nice surprise. I figured that one I could try the Wi-Fi at where I'm currently at because Wi-Fi can be a little spotty where I am. So we'll see how it goes. Hey, Ryan, dude, you can now fly a plane for compensation. You can now get paid to do what you enjoy doing, which is a great thing, right? Congratulations, man. And awesome on getting the Lazy 8s or Chandels, whichever one you had to do, because I hate Lazy 8s and Chandels to this day. How responsive is the trackpad on 777? It is very much like a laptop, Ryan. It's extremely responsive. To a point, it responds very well, but understand it's a very low dot pitch on the trackpad and on the screen, so not a whole lot to move around. Hey, Henry, good evening. Hey, Science CGO, where are you going, dude? Henry, you left off the most important part. Our cadet programs it depends on the cadet program, Luke. Some are free, some are not free. And it depends on which one you want to go to. None of them require a college degree that I know of. Flight 73 flight in May from Atlanta to Chicago. They boarded us and told us there was a mechanical issue with a small motor on the back of the plane that controls the air conditioning. It's probably the APU. The APU. So on the ground, we have a small turbine jet engine that runs in the back of the airplane in the tail cone, and it makes two things. It makes power for the plane, and it makes air, hot air, for the air conditioning that makes cold air for the cabin. If we can on the ground, we like to use the ground power to the jet bridge, and we'll use the ground yellow hose for air conditioning. But every now and then it's not available, and sometimes we fly to somewhere remote. If I fly to some island, sometimes they have no power or ground air for us. So we have to have our own, which is the APU. Thanks, still awake, up excited every day because I have a lesson. That's awesome, Mr. Serbia. Hey, Penn. And controls the engine to start. So yes, Adam, it is the APU. So the APU, again, it makes air, it makes hot air, and it makes power. So when it makes the hot air, it makes high pressure air. And that high pressure air is used to make air conditioning, but also to get the engines turning initially. So those big engines are really big and heavy, right? So when we need rotation of the engine that you can see, we need to get it spinning fast enough so that we can then add a spark and then add fuel so the engine can start on its own. So that first gust of air comes from the APU normally to start the engines. Do you find it hard to keep track of contracts and bidding? Contracts, not so much. Bidding, not so much. I've been doing it a long time, but contractual stuff, I'm sorry, contracts, it can be very in the weeds, especially a big airline like I am right now, that you'll be in a situation, you think, okay, I'm going through the contract. You'll find a section that you think covers what you're going through, and you'll go down and it says, no, if you're going through this, you need to go to this other section. It can be very annoying. We have a number we can call to get help as well. Don't say where I am. Have you ever flown with Captain Steve? I've never met Captain Steve. Oh, PSA, awesome. Welcome to, well, I guess your last job ever, right? That's it. You'll never have to do, well, your last interview ever. It's pretty awesome knowing that once you join one of the regionals that I work for, well, my mainline carrier associates with, you're done. There's no more interviewing for the rest of your life if you don't want to. What's your opinion on driving 2 hours instead of commuting on an hour flight? So Jack's Aviator, it's a guaranteed seat, right? If you can drive to work, sorry, I just ate something. Took my teeth. If you can drive to work, it's a guaranteed seat. But it can be dangerous, right? If you get up at, let's say you live in Amarillo, Texas. No, Amarillo, that's a horrible example. You live in northern New Jersey. You're based in New York City. You start your day on your last day of your trip with a 4 a.m. wake-up call out in Alabama, right? You fly from Birmingham to Atlanta, Atlanta to Chicago, Chicago to somewhere in Ohio, and then up to Newark or to LaGuardia to finish your trip. You finish your trip at 6 in the evening. Now you're gonna drive 2 hours home. It can be risky, right? As far as being awake and being alert. But again, it is a guaranteed seat. You can always drive for half an hour and take a nap as well. That's what I worry about with driving is how long is your duty day on the last day. But again, it is a guaranteed seat. Don't say where I'm located. And will the cadet program take you from zero to major airlines as a pilot? Yes, they will, but there are so many cadet programs that it's not easy to say one will do everything for you. Hey, Jack. Hey, Rob. Hope you're doing well down under. And M, good evening. Just want to talk to you. I sucked at steep turns. I loaded about 100 feet. Now I'm at 0. That's freaking awesome, dude. You know, I've done steep turns in every plane but the Airbus. We don't do steep turns in the Airbus. Can a 380 jet take off from an aircraft carrier? No. I work for Delta on the ramp, moving the bags from plane to the belts. I've fueled that before. Yeah, rampers have a very hard job. Darren just got my PPL last week. Thanks for your advice for my check ride. It really helped. Dude, Jonah, freaking dude, knuckles to you. Congratulations, man. And now you know what it takes to pass a check ride, right? Before your first check ride, you really have no idea what it takes to pass a check ride. Like people tell you what a check ride is like, but until you actually go through a check ride, you really have no idea. But now you know what it's like. So now it's for the rest of your ratings, it's the same process. And it's just adding on more and more and more. You can celebrate now, and then you can celebrate again when your plastic comes in the mail. Luke, I went to ATP flight school 18 years ago. I don't recommend any flight school. Why? Because I'm old. I went to flight school a long time ago, and my experience at ATP will not be like your experience. I don't recommend any flight school because I haven't been to flight school in 18 years. I just want to say your video work and family life literally was the reason I switched careers and started flight school. Hey, dude, 23 Kentley. First, thank you very much for your support. And second, if you have any questions, again, I am an open book, or I'm very contactable. My only request is if you want to ask me questions, put like 15 questions. I'm fine with that in one message via Instagram or email is probably the best ways to contact me. Or on my Facebook group page for my Geek on the Flight Deck group page, you can message me there as well. But give me a week to get back to you. Have you ever not got along with another pilot you're flying with? Yes, we're all human. How long do you think 777 will be around? At least another 10 years. Brisbane, Australia, I want to go there one day as well. Hey, FL Loan, you're very welcome. Are you 17 or 19 days off, consecutive days off of work? No. So as a reserve pilot, I get 12 days off a month. Last month, there's like 3 on, 4 off kind of thing. Next month I have a line. I have a lot of days off. You don't ever get that many days off in the airline I know of consecutively. Not on a normal month anyway. Hey Darren, it's Darren. Hey, it's Darren. Finally caught the live. So went on final approach. Darren, do pilots really like to know if you are following a heavy due to weight turbulence, or is it that a big deal? Oh, it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. So we want to know what we're following, right? So if I'm in an Airbus or an RJ and I'm following a 777, they'll give me more space behind that 777. And if it's a calm wind day, I'm gonna stay above the glide path. I can't do this, but I'm gonna stay above the glide path to avoid their weight turbulence. Now, if it's a really windy day, I'm not so concerned because the wind will push their weight turbulence out of the way. But if it's a calm wind, a beautiful Sunday afternoon, I'm landing in Dallas flying a 777 and I'm in a smaller airplane, I'm absolutely gonna be more cognizant of their flight path. Do you think it's possible to do flight school and get all the ratings while driving trucks to finance it? No. Not unless you can have 3 days off a week, every week. Every week you need 3 days off a week. And you need to train all 3 of those days. So if you can do 3 days, a real 3 days a week, not, well, there, I'm gonna do 3 days this week, but next week I'm only doing 1 day. Ain't gonna work. I'm telling you, it's not gonna work. I'm exceptionally average. I'm exceptionally average. You cannot train 1 or 2 days a week and get to the airlines, because you'll train one or two. Say if you're gonna train, I'm not talking down to you by any means. I'm explaining my reasoning behind what I'm saying to you. Say if you're gonna train there, and I'm gonna train on Thursdays and Friday every week. You go to Thursday, it's low overcast clouds. You can't fly. Friday, same thing. So you lost 2 days. You didn't fly since last week. You flew last week though. So now you're gonna have 2 weeks without you flying. And when you're first starting out, you need to fly all the time. The muscle memory needs to get there. So no, you need to train 3 days a week minimum every single week. My first solo this week. Thank you for the advice and motivation. Hey, Jay Blaze, have fun with the solo. I haven't been in an airplane by myself in over a decade. I used a trim to pass my IFR check ride. Any tips for commercial? Dude, Nick, awesome. Commercial, I hated Chandel's Lazy 8s. So for commercial, everything should be smooth, and you should have a sense of authority about yourself, and just set the pace. It's hard to understand what set the pace of the check ride means when you're first starting out, but when you get more ratings, understand for check rides, don't ever let any examiner rush you. They might rush you might try to push you on purpose. Slow it down. When you're doing a check ride, you control the throttle, right? You set the pace. And if you have to, talk slower. There's never a reason to rush in aviation. One thing about the 777, it comes up on almost every single trip. The captains say, we don't rush for anything. We do nothing fast. We taxi slower than dirt. Why? Because we're taxiing around a 500,000 pound airplane. We want to make sure we get it right the first time. We don't rush for anything. I never tried infinite flight. Any idea on UK CAA ATPL conversion to FAA? I know nothing about that, Luke. Unfortunately, Luke J. Cherry, I know nothing about the conversion process. I'm sorry. So for my flight training, I've learned trim is your best friend. It is. I had to master within the first 5 hours. Trim is, even in out of 777, trim is very important. What has been your most memorable trip in the triple? Memorable trip in the triple. Oh, probably flying to Narita for the first time, because that's where my wife and I flew years ago. Our first big international trip. Flying there as a pilot was pretty cool. What are your thoughts on the new Slate EV truck? I think it's pretty cool. I'd get one if it was a little bit cheaper as an airport car. I think it'll do well though. I'm fortunate enough to purchase a plane to build time. Are there preferences between time built in a 172 versus something that would track constant speed propeller? Choi, great question. No, time is time. Fly that plane off, fly that plane's rear end off. Keep the maintenance up and hope you can sell it for what you paid for it. But time is time is time. You are awesome. Check out Stig's Spain next time. Barcelona short train ride. Went last year with my family, Kevin, Georgia. I'm gonna have to. I don't have my other phone out here. I'll try to remember that. You can bid to work early in the month and late in the month with a bunch of time off in between. You could bid. So yes, you could bid. It depends on the contract, right? At my airline, you have to have. They want you to have, if you're a line holder, between even to call it 75 hours a month. So you could bid to work the first 6 days of the month, call it, and that'd be 30 hours in 6 days. And then the last 6 days of the month, you'd have to work more than that. But if you're a senior enough, you can get those days off consistently, probably, but it's not a guarantee. My first time flying, IFR, managed to get the headings good and the altitude. I am so thankful for trim. It is difficult to see what through the foggles. Yeah. Hey, Norman. Where in the world is Darren? Definitely not Dallas. Not Dallas. Just 1,000 hours. Envoy's 509 hours away, I'm guessing. Dude, isn't it nice to have an extra digit in your hours? Congratulations. Hey, confessional. Will you consider a CFI going for CFI, MEI in today's current market? Caden, great question. I would do double I, absolutely. Absolutely, I would do double I. Now, MEI, only if you had a job lined up. I wouldn't get your multi-engine rating to be a CFI because you might spend $5,000 in a rating and never get to use it. Because everyone needs single engine time, right? Privates, instrument ratings, right? Commercial ratings, other CFI ratings, right? But multi-engine ratings, yeah, not that many hours. Hey, Darren, had my second flight lesson today. So excited for the journey. Thank you for the inspiration. Dude, Clipper, congratulations and welcome aboard. Hey, Mr. Bradshaw. Good evening, sir. Century Airline has the Captain's taxi, do you think, sorry about spitting my piece of food out my mouth. Do you think you could taxi a 777 comfortably? Yes, I have actually taxied in the sim. But yeah, I would do it very slowly. Again, we do everything very slowly. But yeah, 777-300, I would want extra eyes on me. What do you think of the BWB aircraft? I know nothing about it. If that's military, I know nothing about it. How come you haven't flown to the continent of Australia? Because it's only flown out of LA at my airline. They do it out of Dallas on the 787, but on the 777, it's only out of LA. I'm Dallas based. What regional did you work for? Envoy. I worked for the original Envoy. Finally soloed. CFI says I should be ready for my PPL check ride at the end of the month. Dude, Adam, nice. Good question, Rob. So I did make my hours to a point. I didn't get to where I wanted to be. So I like to have an average. I want to be at least 91 hours a month. Of 91 hours a month of 777 FO pay is equal to 76 hours of captain pay on the narrow body. Meaning, if I'm 91 hours on 777, I'm making the same as making as a captain on the Airbus. I didn't get last month. I got to 87 hours. But the month before, I was at 128 hours, so there's a bug flying around me. I'm still ahead. Have you seen the 787P? I have not. Have you ever flown the 737? I have not. I would never, ever fly. I don't want to be a captain on a 737. It's a fine aircraft. It is safe. It can do missions that the Airbus can only dream of. But the 737 flight deck is not somewhere I'd be comfortable sitting physically. It is a very narrow space. It's very antiquated. It is not somewhere I want to spend my life as an airline pilot. Describe your last go around in the wide body. It was in the sim. I've never had to go around in an actual airplane. So I did a go around last week, I think, in the sim. Yeah, I haven't done one in the actual airplane. The best job I had in the military was an instrument instructor pilot in a T-42. Awesome. Do captains have to always taxi at every major? I don't know. I've only worked at one major. At both airlines I've worked for, the captain only taxis. On many aircraft, there's only a tiller on the left-hand side anyway. On every RJ, only the captain can taxi anyway because there's no tiller on the FO side. The MD-80 only had one tiller. The Airbus had dual tillers. We were not allowed to use them. It's company policy. The company owns the airplane. They set the rules. The captain taxis. Now, some majors, the FO taxis. As an FO, I don't want to taxi anyway. So, that's work for me. I'm looking to get a pair of metal glasses for a few trips I'm taking this fall. Would you recommend them? I love my metal glasses, Alex. I brought them on my trip I'm on right now. I bring them on every single trip. So if you ever see any kind of vertical video on any of my videos, it's my metal glasses. Great video, great pictures. The AI features, I never use them, honestly. But they're also good for Bluetooth speakers. I can walk around the city and listen to music and still have my ears open. That's also a perk. I've never flown a 330. The Phoenix 777 pilots based out of Phoenix or somewhere else. The Phoenix 777 flights are normally staffed by LA right now. LA pilots staff the 777 flights. I was never in a cadet program. The cadet programs came around way after I was a pilot. I never flown or met Captain Steve ever. Did you flow or interviewed? I interviewed. Good question, Henry. That's a great question, Henry. So when I was at my regional for about 6 years, I finally realized I was stuck and started going to do airline conventions, or aviation conventions, volunteering with my union, volunteering outside the union, making myself more than just a good pilot. And I was fortunate enough to get an interview at my current airline. I borderline stalked a recruiter. He never called the cops on me, but I kept in constant contact with him. Like almost every single month, I say, hey man, this is where I am right now. Hey man, this is where I am right now. Hey man, this is where I am right now. I kept letting him know what was going on with me to let him know that I took his advice. Because I met him many years past, right? And I would go to these airline conventions, and it's not just a job fair, man. It's not. It's going to the speaking engagements to learn how to make yourself a better pilot, a better candidate for the major airlines. I would listen to these speakers talk, take their advice, including this guy, this recruiter, and then say, hey, man, I took your advice. That's what I did, man. And I kept following up with him. He told me on a Wednesday I was ready. I got the invite to the interview on that Friday. I knew it was a recruiter and nothing else. People made fun of me for going to the job fairs too. Like, why are you going to job fairs? They're not going to hire you outside of flow. Cool. Guess what? I'm 1,000 numbers senior to where I would be. I'm 1,000 numbers senior to where I would have been if I had flowed over. Appreciate your honesty. Figured I'd ask you because I'm sitting around for 3 days each week Anyways, on this account, figured I'd do something I wanted to do at that time. Awesome. BWB is blended wing. I have no idea. I've never seen blended wing. Do you utilize does Envoy utilize PBS like your mainline does? Not yet, but I think they're going to PBS soon. I hear a helicopter. In your one of your recent videos, you stated you loved a particular pair of compression socks. What kind? Oh, they're on Amazon. If you message me, I'll send you the link. Send me a message on Instagram, and I'll send you the link for them. Do you hope to be? I know they were bamboo kind of. I think they were bamboo. Do you hope to be a captain at your current airline one day? Yeah, when it makes sense to me, for my quality of life wise, right? Right now, if I was a captain at my main line on Airbus, I would not be here right now. I got my days off to be here because I'm not a captain. I watch your videos daily. I sit at my corporate job thinking about your story daily, and I use it as an inspiration to go to flight school in the next year. Dude, Jack Walsh. You have any questions, you can always message me. The hardest thing to do is make that first step. The hardest thing to do is to, after you get your medical, is get your foot in the door for the first day of flight school. So many people think, one day. I'm glad I did what I did. I don't know you can fly more than 100 hours in a month. Is it typical? You can't fly more than 100 hours in a month. But I can't, so I got paid 128 hours last month. I didn't fly that much. It's credit. Credit, flying, pay, each one's different. Do you fly any GA airplanes? I do not. Will you become a 777 captain someday? Someday. I just hit my 1 year flying anniversary, ended with 1,073 hours. I'll see you at OBAP. Hey, Adele, dude, knuckles. I don't know, man. I got a bid for August 1st. It's such a remote location this year. If I can get there for 2 days, I'll go. Hey, Gavin. It's been a minute. Appreciate the longer videos on YouTube. Hey, dude, how you doing? You're probably holding a pretty good line by now. Have you ever flown to the Middle East? I have not. Happy to catch you live, living vicariously through your videos. Thank you for your videos and vlogs. Appreciated what you do. Hey, Rolo, thank you for your support. Sincerely. Hello, Darren. Thank you for sharing your beautiful videos of aviation. I truly enjoy viewing and posting on Facebook proudly. Retired travel advisor, beauty stylist, enjoying the future life. Hey, Jacqueline, thank you very much. You know, travel advisor. I look at getting my travel agency license. That'd be something fun to get, but I think it's so expensive to make it worth my while. What positions do you volunteer with your union at Eagle? I'm currently joining the LOSA committee. LOSA is great. I like communications, obviously. So I was the communications chairman at Envoy for a year. And then I was also contract compliance volunteer, which means I got phone calls at random times a day from people asking questions. What kind of side businesses have you heard of other pilots doing? A lot of accounting and real estate are very common for pilots. What's the last broken thing you found during pre-flight? Well, it was a GPU door, right? But it was like not fully flush, but it's already been addressed. Actually, broken. Nothing on 777, because on the 777, unlike the Airbus, on the 777, before every single flight, mechanics go over the airplane. Like multiple mechanics go over the airplane for the ETOPS check. So never on 777. Airbus, I don't remember. It's been too long. I've never flown on an Airbus 350. Hey, First Officer Byrd, how are you? Mr. Schwartz, how do you get your iPhone to follow you when you record? It's not my iPhone, it is my Meta glasses. Not these, but my actual Meta glasses. They're inside. Hey, Mr. Harabaju, good evening. Might be a dumb question, but why, if wide body generally pays more, why wouldn't every new pilot want to go for wide body over narrow? Great question, Adam. Because one, maybe the base. Maybe there's not a wide body base where they live. Or two, it's different kind of flying. And maybe they want to be captain versus a junior wide body pilot. Everybody has different likes, right? Pepsi, Coke, Android, iPhone. Almost don't want to go live because my study iPhone is overheating and I'm losing my screen. It's a brand new iPhone 16 Pro too. The Mad Dog was a hoot. They should have kept them around for the nerds. There's still one in the C.R. Smith Museum. Mr. Benson, thank you for your support, sir. Do you see yourself flying the 777X when it finally comes to revenue service? If it's still here, if it actually comes to revenue service at my airline. Hey, Mr. Vegan, will you retire at age limit or do you have plans for early retirement? I'd love to retire early, but here's a problem. My youngest is 8 years old. I'm 48. So in 10 years from now, she'll be 18. I'll be 58. When I'm 62, she'll be just getting out of college, giving me 3 years and not having kids on my payroll. So, what is the more senior plane, 777 or 787, and why? Alex, it depends on the base. In Dallas, the 787 is more senior. Why? I guess destinations. I don't know about anywhere else. Do you know how long the flow is from onboard to mainline? I think it's 6 or 7 years. I'm holding a pretty decent line, 12 days off. Had my first emergency in the jungle jet trim runaway during takeoff roll out of Charlotte. That's exciting. You know what I find funny about the 777, the 145, Gavin? The trim was always 7 or 8. That's it. Ferry takeoff at 7 or 8. At least when I flew it, I still remember that. It was never 6 or 5, always 7 or 8. Almost always 7, I think it was. Regarding bidding, is everything through the union app or through the airline for the bidding? It's all through the airline that controls the bidding. Layover vacation. This is actually a vacation. Almost done with the live. Hey, Darren just flew back from London, Heathrow, and it wasn't too bad. Security was also pretty good. Upon arrival, we had to hold and circle a bit. What's the name of the town that circled over? Bovingdon. Bovingdon. For airlines with a daytime London flight, how long is the layover for pilots? They return the next day. Depends, right? I think New York does a daytime flight. I think the layover is 16 hours. Have you ever done a diversion, medical weather, that put you in a different city location for the overnight? No. I've done medical diversions, but we either drop them off and keep going, or as our destination. But I never had to pull in somewhere and stay the night. But you had held on to your iPhone 15 Pro Max. I still have that at home, but right now, because I'm weird, I did get a 16. I traded my 14 Pro Max in and bought a 16 Pro, not Pro Max, and my 15 Pro Max is still at home. That's a backup phone. Hey, Darren, 29 years old. I'm going on my first Discovery flight. What advice do you have for me? Jamal, have a good breakfast. Nothing greasy and not too heavy. Bring a bottle of water and have a friend go with you to shoot video from the outside. When you flew the Airbus, were you able to fly? I flew all 3 types, WC Master, 19, 20, and 21. Obviously, hoping you don't have any coming up, but have you done an emergency landing yet lately? In the sim, but not on the 777. Hi, what retro prop aircraft would you like to fly? DC-3. I want to fly the Super Constellation. Last one will be answered will be Mr. Maldusi. Then I gotta go. Are you glad they got rid of the eyebrows in the cockpit? Asking for a bald friend of mine. That's funny. On the NDA, you used to put paper up there. So at Piedmont is advertised 7 years at Piedmont. Thank you. Love watching all your videos. You're giving out a lot of good content. I'm in the process of becoming a pilot. I hope to sit with you in the cockpit one day. Hey, Mihal Harabaju. I hope I'm saying your name right. Yeah, 17 years, buddy. Mad Dog, best plane at the frequent traveler. It was very quiet up front. Thanks, Darren, for everything you do for the aviation community. Mr. Gonzalez, thank you for your support, sir. Yep, trim is almost always at 8 for us. It's a threat. The iPad spits out 7 because we'll likely overlook it and always set 8. That's funny. Have you ever been involved in an aborted takeoff in the heavy yet? Nope. What was the hardest part of your flight training? PPL? For me, it was the commercial single engine because I had very little single engine time. Back when I went to ATP flight school, I did my private in the 172, I did my instrument in the multi, then I did my private multi, then I did my instrument in the Seminole. So I didn't fly a 172 again until I went back for CFI. No. I did my instrument in the Seminole. I did time building. I did my CFI initial in the Seminole. Then I did my single engine add-ons. So by the time I got back to this 172, I hadn't flown it for a long time, and so I hated the Chandel's Lazy 8s. Excited for a Pixel 10 Pro, hopefully. Is teardrop entry the best way to enter an uncontrolled airport? I'd never say the best way. And I haven't flown an uncontrolled airport in a long time. With that, I do have to go because I'm getting bitten by bugs. Getting short live this evening. I'll probably have another live later this week. I'll have a new video up on Thursday. It covers my trip to London. And then, since you're here, quick preview. My last trip of the month is to somewhere where I am right now, if you can guess. My name is Darren. I'm a dad. I'm an airline pilot. I'm a husband of a scientist. If you could please click like, subscribe, and then comment on other videos. Have a great day. And as always, thank you for stopping by.